Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Saturday the 13th of November 2021. Not a lot going on today's international break, so we just got a few stories here. One that doesn't technically involve Millwall anymore, just a former Millwall player, Steve Morison, has been given the Cardiff manager job till the end of the season. But it was published. This is from the London News Online.co.uk. So they felt it was newsworthy for Millwall fans. So, former Millwall striker Steve Morison lands Cardiff City boss job. Cardiff City have appointed former Millwall striker Steve Morison as their new manager till the end of the season. The ex-Lions forward made 335 appearances and scored 92 goals for the South London club over 3 separate spells at the Den. The 38-year-old took charge of the Bluebirds after Mick McCarthy was sacked last month. He has returned 4 points in his first 3 games in the Cardiff hot seat. It's great. I've had a little taste of it, said Morison. I really enjoyed the 3 games. I put my name forward. I said that if they'd like me to continue, I'll be really happy and excited to be given the opportunity. I'm thankful to Tanshri, Mehmet and Ken, and to the players and fans who got behind me. The players have been excellent since day one, and since we were asked to look after the team, they've taken everything on board, and you can see that in the performances. We changed the style a little bit, and you can really see that on the pitch. The most exciting thing is that we've got the opportunity to progress that now, and hopefully we'll get better and better. So, interestingly, Steve Morison was the under-23s manager at Cardiff, and so far this season they are undefeated. They have a 100% record. They haven't drawn a game. They've won all their games. They've conceded like three goals. So he's doing really well with the under-23s. So he was, I think, because they're struggling for money. And they just went for the cheap option, and so they've given Stephen Morison the job till the end of the season, and just to see how he goes. But the fact that the guy keeps coming back to Millwall, he had 3 separate spells as a player at the club. Would he have a 4th as a manager? There aren't that many managers who see the Millwall job as a job worth taking, as a valuable opportunity, but Steve Morison and probably will. But here's the thing: if he does very well at Cardiff, then we obviously have no chance. Or the thing might be, if he does very well at Cardiff, gets them promoted, and in the Premiership they struggle because they don't invest in the squad, and they blame him and just boot him out and try and get someone like Sam Allardyce in to keep them up. But we will see. And quite interesting to have a striker as a manager. I wonder if they'll score a lot of goals. Yeah, that would be nice, wouldn't it? It's to watch a team that scores a lot of goals. To watch a team that scores at home in the first half. That would be wonderful. Anyway, moving on. So this is from news@den.co.uk. They've taken the opportunity of the international break lull to interview Dan Moss, one of Millwall's players who's out on loan, and there he is out on loan for Yeovil Town, playing against, who's that there? Is that Torquay? I'm not too sure. I don't think that's Torquay. It's someone else. I don't know who that is, but he's playing for the green of Yeovil Town. So they've got a long interview with him, and it's pretty interesting. He's a Millwall defender on dealing with rejection, National League shock, and adding to his menu. If any young player is struggling to deal with being released by a club as a teenager, they would do well to listen to Dan Moss. Moss, 21, was let go by Burnley after a decade in their ranks, despite winning the Scholar of the Year award while at Turf Moor. Circumstances around every release differ, of course, not just in the processes in place to help players find a way back into the game, but also the structures to support them outside of football. Some are more fortunate than others. but the way Moss mentions learning experience more than once during his interview tells you he was well equipped to deal with rejection. There is also a big element of fortune involved in players finding other clubs. Moss was lucky that Millwall representatives were at the same table as ones from Burnley at the Scholar Awards in London in 2019 and were looking for a right back. Even when those things fall into place, the right approach helps. Rather than feeling pressure, Moss told himself to enjoy the experience on trial with the Lions after his Claret setback. It was a shock to the system because I had been in Burnley's academy for a long time. I'd never really experienced being released before, Moss tells News at Den. Millwall was sitting at the same table as Burnley staff, so they asked who was Burnley Scholar of the Year. They got into a conversation about me, and Millwall were looking for a right back for the under-23s at the time. I only found out about Millwall at the start of the summer before the holidays, so I had an idea. I kept fit and everything, and then found out I was going on trial in pre-season. It was a strange one, really. Obviously, you're a bit nervous, but I was just excited more than anything. My main idea was to enjoy it and go from there. Just enjoying myself and enjoying football brought out the best in me, in a way, where I was relaxed and could show what I could do. I didn't really think of it as a last chance moment or anything. I felt it was an opportunity. I spent 3 weeks on trial in the end training. I played 3 or 4 full 90-minute games. Then the boss, Kevin Nugent, pulled me aside and said, "We'll be offering you a deal." I was buzzing about that. It was good news to share. It all worked out perfectly in the end. Moss joined in the summer of 2019 and went on to captain Nugent's under-23 side. He signed a new deal in the summer before heading out on a season-long loan to Yeovil, where he has become a regular in Darren Sarll's team. "I've played every game so far at right back," Moss continues. "During my time at Burnley, I played in a few different positions. During my scholarship, I was centre mid, centre back when I was a bit younger, but I found myself at right back and I'm really enjoying it. You get a bit of everything in that position. It suits my game. I've got a lot of energy and good fitness to get up and down and join in with everything I can. I've always been the type of player that's very competitive, a physical player, and I like to get stuck in. Coming to the National League, I prepared for it and I was ready for it, but you get that shock of how intense and physical it is. But I'm loving every minute of it. It's a very good learning curve. I'm really enjoying it." And he played today. He got booked in the first half. He played as Yeovil Town beat Eastleigh 2-1. They are now 13th in the table, so they went above Eastleigh on goal difference. So good for them. Fantastic. So off the pitch, Moss has also had to learn quickly. He explains, "I moved into a player's house. There are 4 of us here. At Millwall, I was in digs with a host family. It sounds silly, but they would sort your food out, and if you're lucky like I was, they would sort your washing, so you don't have to do so much around the house. But in a player's house, you have to sort out your cooking, washing up, your clothes washing. That was the biggest shock of all, but you soon get into the swings of things. The lads are all part of the first team squad. They're top lads, so it's been really enjoyable. It's my first senior loan, and it's just about getting to grips with everything, living so far away from home. It's just a massive life learning experience. I'm taking it all in my stride. I've had a few phone calls with Ken Nugent and Paul Robinson from the under-23s. My games get sent to them, they watch them, and we'll have a chat on the phone. It's just a bit of everything on the call to check in and see how I am." That's interesting. So Kevin Nugent and Paul Robinson watch the games. So they must watch the Yeovil games, King's Town games. Dover. Do they watch Dover Athletic games? How do they watch it? They must watch it on 2 times speed. They can't be watching 90-minute games. I suppose they watch it until they get subbed off. So if they get subbed off, there, I imagine they're rubbing their hands, thanking God, thanking the Lord. They don't have to watch another National League game, I guess. I don't know, but they must watch a lot of video then, no? We'll go over all the football side of things, and we'll also have a little chat at the end about how it is living on your own, cooking your own food. Me and Nuge have had a few chats on what to cook. My go-to is a stir-fry, but the boys here are a bit bored of that now, so I'll have to start adding a few dishes to my menu. Moss has Danny McNamara as an example to follow of another right back who works his way up the loan ladder and into Millwall's first team. Senior boss Gary Ratter said every loan is with a view to the player eventually challenging to get in his team. That is encouraging for Moss. Definitely it's something you're working for, he says. That's the aim at the end of the day, to get into the club's first team. Every day is a learning experience, so you've got to take it all on board. I look at Danny McNamara's journey. He went on a few loans, and each time he stepped up another level and then got his chance in the Millwall first team. It's something you look up to and hope it will happen to you one day. I'm just taking each day as it comes and trying to improve as a player every week. We played 8 games in October, so that was something totally new to the system. It's just game after game, but I'm loving it. It can only be good for me. It's totally different games programmed to the under-23s. It's been a bit tough on the legs at times, but you get through it and you look forward to the next game every time. It's pointed out to Moss that he appears to have the character needed to succeed. It's just speaking with experienced people at Millwall and just even family as well. He modestly replies, at the end of the day, just enjoy it. It's a good opportunity. And you know you've got what it takes to play in National League. I've always just had that in me to fight, whatever comes at me, to get through it. So there you go. Fantastic interview there with Dan Moss. Mill right back, currently out on loan. Yeah, so there you go. That is it. Thank you for watching and goodbye.